Okay, this one's got it all. Bad actors, an unhealthy obsession, a prowler, power cuts, and probably the worst member of the useless Lifetime Police Department I've seen so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Also known as The Realtor and Don't Steal My Husband, this is 2020's Ruthless Realtor. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
This is Ralph Savage and he's taking photos of flowers outside this house. He sees a for sale sign going up and he's like, ooh, that's a nice house. I wonder if my wife Annie Savage would like it. So he asks her and she's like, yeah, let's have a look.
Really?
Yeah. So they ask the realtor Meg if they can look around and she's like, of course. Meg, by the way, is the main character.
Hi.
Meg tells the Savages that the previous owner disappeared 5 years ago and they're like, okay, that's a bit weird.
Yep.
Then Meg tells them there's another interested party, so they'd better hurry up and make an offer, even though they've only just walked through the front door. But as soon as they see the basement, Ralph's like, right, we need this house. The basement's perfect for my photography.
It's like a new wall over here. It's like a recently refurbished.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be important later. Ralph then tells Meg that if she can help them get the house, he'll take some photos of her free of charge.
Okay. I'm gonna take you up on that.
Okay.
Okay. And oh no, here comes the other interested party, Lynette.
I thought this was supposed to be an off-market sale.
And Meg's like, yeah, but I'm going to sell it to the Savages instead. At an unspecified time later, we see Annie at work. Meg comes into her office and she's like, congratulations, you've got the house.
What about the other buyer? She's a non-issue.
And he's like, you could have just told me this on the phone.
Are you crazy?
No, but I'm guessing you probably are.
Okay.
Okay. So when Meg leaves, Annie calls Ralph and tells him they've got the house. Cut to them moving in and they're really happy, yeah. And ooh, what's this? Annie's just pissed on a stick and found out she's pregnant. She's just about to tell Ralph the good news when there's a knock on the door. Oh, look, it's Meg. She's bought them treats and makes them eat them in front of her. Then tells them how she's desperate to find a husband just like Ralph.
Annie, maybe I'll just steal this one from you.
Maybe.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, yeah, she's a bit weird. When Meg goes for a shit, Annie's like, okay, this woman's not right. Get rid of her, Ralph. But when Meg gets back, she's got Annie's positive pregnancy test.
I'm so happy for you.
I haven't had a chance to.
Meg's like, oh, sorry about that. I'll leave you guys to it. But that hasn't ruined this special moment for the Savages. Well, maybe it has a bit. The next day when Annie gets home from being a serious businesswoman, she finds Meg in her kitchen with Ralph.
I made a brisket.
Oh, that's nice. Meg explains that she's done this because she felt bad about ruining the pregnancy surprise. And Meg's also brought the Savages a gift. Oh, look, it's Annie's piss stick.
It's mounted. I mean, it's tad weird.
You think?
When Meg leaves, Annie's like, right, Ralph, we need to have some boundaries with the realtor.
I think she's lonely.
She's the realtor, Ralph, not your BFF.
And he's like, come on, Annie, she's not that bad. And she's like, just tell her to piss off.
I don't think we're gonna see her much anymore. Really?
The next day, when Ralph's taking photos of flowers again...
Hi.
She's like, right, remember when you promised to take photos of me?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I want you to do it now. So that's happening. They go down to the basement and Meg's like, I need to get changed first. So Ralph sets up the lights. But Meg's been ages, so he goes upstairs to look for her.
Oh, sorry. Jeez.
When she comes back to the basement, he's like, I'm so sorry about that. And she's like, don't worry, it's fine. So now it's time for Ralph to take photos of Meg in a scene that goes on and on and on. He's like, I need to develop these in the dark room now. And she's like, ooh, can I watch? He's like, okay. So that's happening. No, that doesn't actually happen. That's just Meg's fantasy.
Oh.
Here's what actually happens.
It's like magic. Whoa. Oh.
You wanted me to do that.
No.
She's like, oh no, I'm so embarrassed, then leaves crying. When Annie gets home, Ralph's like, yeah, Meg won't be coming round again. But the next day, she shows up at Annie's work to apologise with flowers. She's like, sorry, I just wanted to be loved the way Ralph loves you. And he's like, go away. So Meg slams the flowers on the floor.
Ooh.
Then this guy peers round the door like this.
Okay.
Meg's like, be nice to me, please. I lied to the bank to make sure you got the house instead of Lynette.
What kind of realtor are you?
Then security throws her out. Annie feels bad that Meg rigged the house sale, so she calls Lynette.
Hello?
Hi, Lynette. What can I do for you?
And he's like, I need to tell you something.
Meg Atkins worked the bank over, so you'd be approved. Right, how did you know that?
Lynette's like, I've known Meg for years and she's got issues. Then Lynette calls Meg.
I know what you did with the bank. Why would you do that? Because they reminded me of David and Rose.
David and Rosa were the first couple who lived in the house, and Meg obsessed over them too. That night when Ralph and Annie are watching TV, they hear a noise and see Meg looking through the window. They call the police, but when they arrive, Meg is long gone. Now, if you think you've seen the worst of the useless Lifetime Police Department, Officer Miller sets a new bar.
She didn't technically break any laws.
Yeah, it's not just what he says, it's the smug way he says it.
Good night.
What a knob. The next morning, Meg shows up in Annie's work car park. Luckily, Annie manages to get away from her, but she's not having this anymore, so she packs a bag to check into a hotel. Ralph's like, no, this is our house. We're staying and defending it. Annie's like, how? We don't even have a gun.
What are you talking about? I got 2 guns.
Oh, fuck off, Ralph. But that somehow convinced Annie to stay.
Okay, then.
That night, they hear another noise. So they hide in their room and Meg walks in. They're like, Meg, get out. And she's like, no, you don't understand. I was driving past and I saw someone trying to break in.
Yeah, right.
She's like, no, really, it was someone in a gas mask.
Tell it to the cops.
Yeah, see how that works out. Oh, good, it's Officer Miller again. And he's like, see, Officer Miller, I told you.
Ma'am, that's enough. We'll take it from here.
Well, as long as it's left in the capable hands of Officer Miller, everything will be fine.
I don't think so.
So the next day, Annie goes to tell the whole story to Lynette. She's like, what's the deal with Meg anyway? And Lynette tells her all about the last couple she obsessed over. When they got a restraining order, Meg had a breakdown.
Oh my God.
Lynette's like, so, can I buy your house? And Annie's like, no, we're all right, thanks. Then we see Meg learning all about the history of the Savages' house in prison. She does a whole load of research and sends her findings to the Savages. Annie's intrigued, so goes to visit Meg in prison. Meg's like, right, so the 2 previous owners of your house have disappeared. I think they could be connected. And Annie's like, yeah, you killed them. And Meg's like, no, it wasn't me. The last couple, David and Rosa, had a daughter who was hiding in the closet when they were kidnapped and never seen again.
What?
Yeah, and the daughter was Lynette.
Plot thickens.
Annie, she grew up in that house.
And he's like, yeah, okay. And Meg's like, look, there are 25 minutes left in this film. Surely you don't think the real killer has already been arrested?
Good point.
But Annie's like, no, sorry, I still reckon it was you. When Annie gets home, she starts telling Ralph about Meg's ridiculous story. Then Lynette comes over and Annie's like, I know Meg killed your parents. Hang on, the police are here. Oh, look, it's Officer Miller again.
Meg Atkins escaped from custody.
What? How? This is shit. Officer Miller's like, don't worry, if she comes here, I'll be waiting outside, ready to arrest her. So Lynette leaves and the Savages make some chamomile tea. But oh no, there's a power cut.
Oh no!
Outside, Officer Miller thinks he's heard a noise.
Probably squirrels.
Yeah, probably. So he's dead.
Whatever.
Ralph and Annie go outside to check on Officer Miller. Yeah, just leave the door wide open. They see that he's dead and they're like, oh no, we left the car keys in the house and the door open. So 2 Gun Savages are going to go in and grab them. But oh no, Meg is outside and tries to speak to Annie. Annie runs away, but Meg chases her and then there's this fight.
You can't go into that house.
So she goes into the house. Annie sees Ralph unconscious and oh no, it's the Prowler. When Annie comes round, she's tied up in the basement with Meg and the Prowler's dragging Ralph away. Obviously it's Lynette.
Of course.
So yeah, Meg was telling the truth the whole time. And Lynette wants to show Annie what happened to the previous owners. Oh look, here are Lynette's parents.
Ew.
I don't know why she did this. It seems she just really wanted their house. Then Meg sold it to this guy, Mr. Logan, but he refused to sell it to Lynette. Here's Mr. Logan now.
That's disgusting.
So Lynette plans to kill Annie and Ralph and make it look like it was Meg. Lynette goes upstairs for a pre-murder shit, and Meg manages to set herself free and untie Annie. When Lynette gets back from spray painting the toilet bowl,
Hard to clean up.
But not impossible.
Meg attacks her with a sledgehammer, but she catches it. There's a fight that goes on for ages, which ends with Annie knocking Lynette out. Annie's like, I'm so sorry, Meg. And Meg's like, don't worry about it. So the Savages decide to sell the house. And 3 months later, Meg is showing it to a potential buyer who she wants to shag. And that's the end of the film. So until next time. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. And please consider joining my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Thank you.